watching House Sparks Mega Worldwide. I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. And welcome, everybody, especially maggots and trolls. It's nice to see some of you in here, because here's the thing. I joke with you. I call you names, but it's all in good fun. Think of it as a mosh pit. I'm not really fighting. I'm just swinging my arms around to the music. But that said, if you get in the way, just be careful. Anyways, and in the meantime, I appreciate that you are at least confronting the fact that on occasion, on the regular, I will point out not just that some of the people you listen to are fucking wrong, but how they're wrong, and specifically how they're wrong. Now, one of the easiest people to do that with is this little fella right here, this young whippersnapper right here, who's the U-boat commander, who apparently has some regular health issues these days, most of them nasal, and I'm going to go with sugar. Too much sugar, not good. Those giant Sonic drinks that he's drinking all the fucking time. I don't know if it's root beer. I don't know if it's Mountain Dew. Whatever it is, it's bad. Glenn, fix your fucking self. Stop it. And this is not somebody who's trying to, force you to eat fucking broccoli. I'm on the carnivore diet. I don't even eat any vegetables at all right now. Haven't since January, except on a couple of occasions because I visited family and I'm a good guest. But this is not good. It's not healthy. But the border hypocrisy is the last straw for Glenn. Oh my God, we're keeping Venezuelans and we're sending Germans home. I think that's what he's talking about.
This story I just told you about, I'm
over it. I can't.
I've hit my limit.
Good. All right. Well, cool. So you're shutting down the blaze and you're done. Everybody, congratulations. We celebrate the last day of the blaze. Glenn's done. He's over it.
My limit. No tolerance for this.
Yeah, but you're not a particularly tolerant person, so I don't know why that's weird. Yeah, is it quiet? Hold on one second. How about this?
I mean, I really feel like this story about this German family that's been going on now for 15 years.
So the Operation Paperclip 2?
They have come to America because they were actually religiously persecuted by Germany.
Scientologists? Or what are they? They believe in, they're members of the Thule Society?
That's why we are a refuge. That's why.
Why? You come here in the first place. It's our country is a catcher's mitt for the religious fanatics of the world.
Send us your poor, your tired, your huddled masses.
Yeah, it didn't say the religious. Well, I guess if you're, if you're not in the rich church, you're probably poor. So
yearning to breathe free.
Right, not your hyper orthodox, female genital mutilation experts. I guess. Not that that's what these German people are, but I'm just saying it's important there's distinction.
That is a challenge to Europe. You send me the people you say can't make it.
Or you're tired of having around. I mean, you could argue that to some degree, this is the whole Trump, like they're emptying out their prisons. Maybe these people were put in prison for their religious beliefs. Maybe they were like, Branch Davidians.
And you watch them flourish here.
Flourish? Okay. Or flourish. Sure.
That's what that means. Not just have everybody overrun our borders.
Yeah, not poor people. Oh, fuck. Not that it does say poor first, but not mostly poor. Well, tired, huddled masses. But yeah, they're okay. Not just poor, tired, huddled people, but also well-to-do religious fanatics that would fund the blaze.
And chaos?
Well, I mean, they're not bringing chaos. They're actually trying to live under a functioning system, I think. But
AOC, compared what's happening on our border to Ellis Island.
Yeah. It's, there is a couple of differences. One is computerized. and we don't need that many French speakers.
I wish there was an Ellis Island.
There is an Ellis Island. It's, you know, we don't use it for that anymore because we've got a lot of airports. This is, you gotta understand, Ellis Island, pre-airplane. I'm just saying, people arrive. Some of them land this direct flight. And also there's no ocean on the southern border where that air, because so no island that in maybe Cuba, the Bahamas, perhaps.
We knew who was coming into the country.
No, you didn't. Hold on. Stop. Does this motherfucker think that anybody in the fucking 1700s, 1800s, 1910, that you had photo fucking ID? That the people who showed up here, asshole, my middle name is McGee, M-A-G-E-E, which is an Irish surname, okay? But it turns out it's actually from a Scottish family because of the pronunciation of McHugh, M-A-C-G-O-U-G-H, McGee. So they wrote down McGee. That's how they fucking, that part of my family fucking showed up here. What do you think, they were taking DNA fucking samples? Nobody knew who anybody was. Jesus Christ. Who is, oh God. One of the best parts of the Elvis movie is the fact that they point out that nobody knew who the fucking Colonel Tom Parker really was. That more than likely he was a Nazi or a Nazi sympathizer who'd gotten rich through Jew gold that he had met, and he'd scooped up some of it and fled to the United States and lived under an assumed fucking name. Tons of people did that. What the fuck are you talking about? This asshole thinks we had TSA pre in 1875.
We sent some back.
Yeah, because they were, you know, they were all shitty. They were dented. We got a refund.
This is not Ellis Island. And now you have a Christian family, and I don't care what color they are. If they were from Africa and the story was the same, if they were from Venezuela and the story was the same, I would be saying the same thing.
No, you wouldn't, because you don't give a shit about the Christians fleeing Syria. You know, you think this motherfucker cares if Alawites fleeing the fucking Syrian conflict or out of Iraq flee to the United States to be religiously safe? Get the fuck out of here. Garbage. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. Let me see. This is annoying me because they don't put the fucking story in. German family returned 15 years, something like that. All right. I'm going to go straight to Christianity Today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the article. This is the story. This is where we're going to learn together. Get up here, you fuckers. Let me lean this over here, drive this story out. Come on. Bring it up here. Here's the story. Let me try to drag this out so I can show it to you in a second. I wouldn't care if they were German or Christian or fucking homeschoolers. German homeschoolers face deportation after 15 years in the U.S. The Christian family says their status has been revoked without warning. A Christian family who fled Germany to be able to homeschool their 7 children say they now face deportation 15 years after arriving in the United States and fighting for asylum. The Romikes celebrated what their supporters called an incredible victory that can only be credited into our Almighty God in 2014 when they were allowed to remain in the U.S. after years of court appeals. Their lawyers said the decision meant the family could stay without worries in the future. Yet earlier this month, Tennessee residents, you and Hannelore Romeke, said they learned their deferred action status had been revoked during a check-in with immigration officials. They said their family was directed to obtain German passports and to prepare to self-deport by October 11th with no prior warning or explanation. The Homeschool Legal Defense Association, an evangelical group that backed them when they came to the U.S., has launched a campaign asking for the government to reinstate their deferred action status. Their 4 oldest children are now adults, and 2 have married Americans, so they're going to be able to stay. The Romekes continue homeschool, and by the way, they're just going to have German fucking passports. And their kids live here, and then they'll have to apply for U.S. citizenship coming through that way because they're not really, because you can homeschool your kids in Germany. Continue homeschool. The deportation to Germany will fracture their families while exposing the Romekes to renewed persecution in Germany, where homeschooling is still illegal in almost every case. Well, there's that word, isn't it? That's the word, I guess. In Bissingen, located outside of Stuttgart, Germany, the Romekes decided to educate their children at home because they opposed public school curricula, including sex education, evolution, and fairy tales, on religious grounds. Homeschooling is not legal in the country, though enforcement on the ban can vary by district. In 2006, parents were threatened, fined $9,000, and 3 of their kids escorted to school by police when they refused to send them, according to a court brief. They moved to the U.S. in 2008. Now, before we move forward, where's Germany? And what countries is it next to that possibly allow homeschooling? France. I think you can probably homeschool in the UK. Nearby countries. Countries on the border of Germany that allow homeschooling. So, how many people think that these people need to go to the United States to homeschool their fucking kids? And do they think that they keep that standard when they talk about people coming from Venezuela who should have gone to the nearest country and applied for asylum in Brazil or Guatemala or wherever they were, whatever the adjoining country where they were fleeing a country, they should have gone to the next neighboring country and apply for asylum there instead of coming all the way to the United States? What you have here is a bunch of people not liking a single standard.
I had to tell you, when I was talking to them, I was like, I should hide this family. I should hide this family.
Yeah, you are the Von Trapps. All of a sudden, it's the Diary of Glen Beck. I can't wait to read it, where it's a cross between Flowers for Algernon and Flowers in the Attic.
This is, to me, this is the beginning of what happened in Germany.
Well, it did start in Germany, sure, but it should have stopped in Belgium, I think. They could have gone to Belgium and homeschooled their kids. And there are more German speakers in Belgium than there are in the United States. It's weird. It's almost like they're economic migrants using this as an excuse.
No, we're still a long way away from a death camp, and it does.
Ooh, whew, thanks. I was worried. Were you guys okay? I thought we were fucking that close. Jamie, bring up the thing about we're all going to be in death camps and put it on the big screen. Put it up on the big screen. I think, fuck, this is, God. Yeah, we're all going to, I was talking to Alex Jones the other day, and he was blowing PCP-laced weed in my face. And he's like, we're all going to be in death camps. And wasn't the other day. It was 18 years ago, and then 6 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and then 2 days ago. But it's going to happen eventually. Anyways, Jamie, bring up the death camps on screen.
Doesn't ever have to go there, but this is how it starts.
No, it isn't. As a matter of fact, how it would have started is that these homeschooling people, instead of being fined $9,000 for not sending their kids to school in Germany, because that's the rule in their democracy, they would have been, I guess, scooped up in Germany and murdered. But you know what? These people moved to Tennessee as economic migrants, using this religious thing as a cover and using religious groups as their conduit to get into the United States for an asylum thing. It's fine, because they couldn't have just gone to a neighboring country.
You're letting people come across the border by the millions.
No, they're not. They're not letting people come across the border by the millions. As a matter of fact, they're vetting them and sending them a lot back. As a matter of fact, the Biden administration, hold on, direct deportation, Biden, okay. So, yeah, so there was, because of the instability in Venezuela, because of there was an issue with it. They were worried about people getting killed, and now that that's kind of settled down, the Biden administration has resumed direct deportation flights to Venezuela. The Biden administration struck a deal with Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro to resume deporting Venezuelans back to the South American country, U.S. authorities said on Thursday. The United States is announcing today it will resume direct repatriations of Venezuelan nationals who cross our border unlawfully and do not establish a legal basis to remain. The Homeland Security said an announcement follows a decision by authorities from Venezuela to accept the return of Venezuelan nationals. The multilateral conversations in Mexico City on Wednesday between the governments of the United States, Mexico, Colombia, and Panama. Thanks, Kamala. The announcement comes as the federal government experienced a sharp rise in Venezuelans between July and August, arriving in the U.S. Mexico border. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol registered nearly 200,000 encounters with Venezuelan nationals between October 2022 and August 2023. Over 12,000 more than the whole previous fiscal year. Despite a parole program for Venezuelan nationals announced in October 22, the United States said would curb illegal immigration. It also comes weeks after they expanded temporary protected status. The deportation protection that allows people from countries in turmoil, that's the point, who are already in the United States to live and work here, and made additional 472,000 Venezuelans eligible for benefits. And these were people who've been here for a very long time, by the way. The extra 200,000, those people are getting bounced back because it is restabilized, and Maduro has agreed for, removal of sanctions if they don't kill people and all that kind of stuff. The kind of adult decisions you have to make around this shit. Okay.
They don't need to have the vaccine.
Yeah, they do.
They don't. They can send their kids in. You don't have to have the,
No, there isn't. You can't. No. It's not that they can send their kids in. They drop their fucking kids off. And here's the thing, Glenn. What you are actually saying is they can just drop kids off at the border and forget about them, and they're our fucking problem? Why can't they just die in the desert? That's the argument, Glenn. They can't just drop them off. As a matter of fact, if they're found to have done that, it's illegal. By whatever country they're in. Mexico in that particular instance. If you put a child on a plane and fly them in the United States with no one to pick them up and no means of going anywhere, and that child steps off that fucking plane, they're going to track you down and put you in fucking jail. It becomes an international criminal probe. You're going to jail, dickhead. Nope, you can't do that. But what also can't happen is America leaving kids to die in the fucking desert. And by the way, we're not going to homeschool these kids, by the way. These kids that show up, they're going to get a real education if they're placed with a family or adopted, or their parents are found and they're sent back to their parents.
MMR shot. You don't have to have anything. You don't have to play by the rules for any reason.
Yes, you do. You actually, especially if you have an asylum claim and you don't want to be immediately deported, you've got to sign up. There's all kinds of fucking rules. Some of you get an ankle monitor. You get a court date. If you violate any of the rules while you're waiting for that court date, you get kicked out, and you've been iris scanned and fingerprinted. And if you ever come back in the country again, you're a criminal, and we send you back to the country you came from, and they put you in jail on our behalf because we're a big rich country that said this person keeps trying to break into our house. There's all kinds of fucking rules. Just because they say there's an open border doesn't mean there's an open border. And the only people saying there's an open border are Republicans. If anybody south of the border has heard that it's open and you're allowed to come in, they've heard it from some asshole like Glen Beck.
Because the government likes you.
Yeah, because you're brown. They don't like poor German Christian homeschoolers who don't want their kids getting sex ed classes and learning about fairy tales in school.
But a family who comes in the right way, does it the right thing.
No, they're economic migrants who lied about their purpose for asylum.
Proves for 15 years they're solid citizens. They're shipped.
Yeah, but they're, obviously taking resources and jobs and other stuff away from Americans, jobs that they would definitely want. I'm guessing they weren't doing fruit picking or cleaning rooms or any of that kind of stuff. A job that you could argue other people don't want. Or were they?
Back? Why? Why?
Because they lied to get in the country and they don't. Basically, they try to scam their way into a visa.
Because this government has a problem with a Christian family coming in.
Real quick. Let's get past the fact that Catholics are Christians and that most of the Latin American populace that comes across the southern border is Catholic. A lot of the scarier ones have tattoos of Mary on their back. But anyways, let's be abundantly clear. A lot of them have crosses and names and all kinds of stuff that I'm just saying. But also, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and go, most of those fuckers are Christian, but apparently they're not even checking. So maybe, just maybe, that we should screen for Christians. Apparently, so you don't have to get vaccinated. They don't give a shit where you're from or what you're here to do. But they don't want Christians coming in, and they're not bothering to ask. I think there's only one thing we could do. I think we have to surge a bunch of people to the southern border to weed out, in case any Lutherans sneak in. By the way, this is just fucking dumb. Don't get offended by what this dipshit is blathering, because it is utter nonsense.
And you know what? This family will go back to Germany, and they won't
be fine.
Say anything because that's who they are.
They're good Christian people who realize they were caught doing something wrong. And
good, decent people. Who the hell? Who in Virginia is going to lead a campaign? Have you signed that particular
thingy? The thing with sign the, which use the there's a device and it has purple or red, there's a word for it in it, and you write it on a thing. It's Joe Biden is old and can't think of anything.
What do you call it?
I don't know. Ask Joe Biden. I guarantee he could tell you immediately. Petition? Is that the word you're looking for?
Petition.
Yeah, that would be the word. Fucking hell. Tell me again how Joe Biden's too old and it can't put a sentence together. Jesus Christ. Oh, Glenn was homeschooled. Sorry.
Have you signed that?
No, I haven't. I had a thing, and then I was going to do the other thing, and I couldn't remember what the name of the thing that you used that has the pen in it. Pen, that's the word. Fuck, right.
Will you sign that?
No, I'm not going to. I mean, I remembered that I was going to, but I decided against it. When I dug deeper into the thing and realized that these people could have gone to a country nearby instead of coming all the way to the United States, and therefore they don't qualify under the asylum rules that Donald Trump harshly enforced on everybody coming across the southern border. I was like, it wouldn't be fair. Just because they're German and white.
Please do.
Nope. Sorry. I'm glad you used the magic word, but your magic has... Your Jedi mind tricks have no control over me.
HSLDA.org.
High school Latter-day assholes. Yeah, that's what it is. Don't you slash
Rome Ike. Saying it the way it's spelled. R-O.
Rome Ike. Ramike. Yes, it's Ramel. It's the Filsen and Heiden.
M-E-I-K-E. Rome Ike. And read about the family. Read about who they are.
And read about the wool they tried to pull over immigration's eyes for 15 years.
I don't care. And this one, and I don't know if they'd even do it, but I mean.
You want to sponsor people who were violating our immigration laws? Glenn, that's what you're about to say. You're about to say it, Glenn. Come on. Wendy, give me the bat. Wendy.
As long as the people that are there are Christians who actually live the faith, meaning.
So you're going to live with them? You're going to move in with them and check? I think you should have some sort of whiteboard.
They worship a God of peace.
They are Germans, though. So I just say there might be a. I'm just saying this idea that somehow, inclusive state education was something that was very upsetting for these people.
And they understand the difference between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's a different guy. I mean, obviously, Martin Luther King is less distinction between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. But more distinction between Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. You know what? They know this. They're Germans.
And will walk like Jesus walked.
In sandals? I honestly, in Tennessee, there's not that much desert, I gotta say.
To make his point, he sacrificed himself.
No, his dad sacrificed him. He didn't have a choice. It was preordained before he was born. He's carrying out his father's mission on earth. I'm just going to say that I got to take that. Sorry, hold on one second. I got to check that off the checklist. I don't think Glenn is walking in Jesus. We might have to deport him to Germany, where he would be a lot happier.
To save us.
Define us, but sure.
I will go and kneel at that house every day.
That would be weird. That'd be really fucking weird. It'd be weird. You know what it'd be weird for? The kids. Mommy! Mom! De Freigen and Gauken de Kleigen is von giant, bloated, Colonel Sanders man is back is kneeling on the sidewalk in front of the house with the checklist of Christian behaviors again. Mother, could you please come? Someone, please. I cannot like it. I don't like it. Where's Papa? Papa, the strange man. Your father is up in the guard tower. Which, most of these suburban houses don't have, but we're German, so we have a guard tower. And he'll be down in just one moment. Now, finish saying your prayers, and I will scare away the bloated Sonic man. It'll be right back. Don't worry it. Not the God Tower. We don't have one of the God Tower. Same difference. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
I mean, this is, to me.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. To me, it's just, I was thinking with everything that, if you put it, get on with it. I'm sorry. It's so sad. If the bizarro Orthodox Christian wannabe Waco assholes living in moving here from Germany under false pretenses to Tennessee to be economic migrants so they could set up a fucking business aren't safe, who among us are? This is fucking, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Glen Beck's this in Swindler's List. It's a story of a man who saved Germans who fled Germany for no good fucking reason to a country many, many countries away when they could have just moved next fucking door or filed an appeal and won under EU rules and just stayed the fuck home. Swindler's List. That's good. That's rock solid. I stand by that one. That was a good one. That might be that would be a good name for the clip. I'm sorry.
This is such injustice.
Oh, the injustice and the thing. First we lose half of the headpiece to the staff of Ra, and now this.
And it is everywhere. And one of
No, it's just Tennessee, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's just Tennessee.
these things is going to hit you. This one just.
No, probably not. I'm not going to because I don't plan on circumventing the immigration laws of another country anytime soon. I've learned my fucking lesson. Let me tell you this.
Just hit me.
Ugh.
This is not who we are.
Well, now you know how AOC feels. Now you know how everybody feels when we go down to the border and we're trying to differentiate economic migrants who might be coming here illegally versus people who are genuinely seeking asylum, and you guys want to lump them all into one fucking group and send them back no matter what the fuck. You get a little... I'm kidding. This is faux empathy.
This, to me, because it's the same thing.
It is, basically.
This, to
is Operation Paperclip 2.0.
me, is the same thing I felt when we were leaving people behind in Afghanistan.
We weren't. We had people with dual citizenship who are in the opium trade there, and some people who were in NGOs who were not coordinating with the United States government, who were planning on staying. And unless you're talking about the people who helped us in Afghanistan that Trump didn't give a fuck about and didn't process at all.
They were innocent people. They were marked for death. Marked for death. These...
It's one of the better Seagal movies before he went complete batshit.
guys aren't marked for death, but they'll be in jail.
No, they won't.
They'll be financially ruined.
No, they won't.
Their children will...
They just go to Belgium. They could just move to Belgium. Belgium has the same asylum rules the rest of the world has, and they're right next door. You could just fucking... right there.
never get a good job in Germany.
Well, that's because they don't want a good job in Germany. What do you think they're going to do? Teach school?
Because all of their schooling doesn't count.
Well, yeah. Here's the problem. In the country that brought you the man who wrote Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales, if you don't want to learn the fucking fairy tales, then I'm just telling you can't get a fucking job. Secondly, move to Belgium. Also, this is the case with all economic migrants. What's shocking here is not your recognition that these people might have to go through some shit because they can't live in the United States. What's shocking here is that you don't apply that to other countries that don't have functioning fucking governments and a huge safety net. Believe me, even German citizens who are treated like shit are in better shape than the top of Venezuelans. Well, the next top. I mean, obviously the leadership, Richie folks, yeah, but I agree. I mean, ultimately, how am I supposed to? Jesus Christ. He's so sad.
It's persecution.
No, it's not. No, it's not persecution. You could argue that they were kind of religious colonizers, post-Pilgrim, anti-secular democratic government people who tried to come here and undermine the government by running an orthodox anti-government homeschooling effort from another country under the guise of being asylum seekers. I could also shape it like that, and I'm glad to, if you need me to walk you through it. If you're not too busy kneeling in front of the home of these people while they wig out that you're standing on the fucking lawn again.
And it's our government putting our American values aside.
No. Our American values are very well established, and one of them is, according to you guys, that if someone's seeking asylum, their duty is to first seek asylum in the nearest country that they can get to, not just come to the United States. That seems to be the problem that you guys have with every South American, non-Mexican South American migrant, right? They should just go to the next fucking country. Go to Brazil. Fuck off. It's a big country. Go work and live there. Be a refugee there. They're closer to you. You speak the same language. Beat it. Right? Why you got to come all the way up here? Exactly. It's almost like they're going to have to get German passports and then they can come back and live in the United States. They just don't have asylum status is the issue. apply for German passports, get a German passport, and then apply for a religious an exemption. Like the fact that they don't have fucking German passports is another thing. I'm so sad.
Let me give you something good.
Oh boy, it's a little late for that, don't you think? Yeah.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
We're all sitting here debating the border, and
Yeah, we are. We totally are debating the border. What should we have a border? Shouldn't we have a border? What is a border? Is Barnes and Nobles better than Borders books? Is there?
we've been telling you, this is so bad. Women are being raped. Children are being taken into sex slavery. Drugs are coming across our border.
Hold on, asshole. You're the person who said that they're dropping their kids off at the border and they can't do that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they're trying to save them from sex slavery. Secondarily, who are you fucking hanging out with that wants these kids for sex slavery in the United States? Seriously, you guys seem to know where all these motherfuckers are, and you never move to stop it?
Fentanyl is killing our citizens.
Right, and we're trying to stop it. Yeah.
And they'll do nothing there. They'll take these German people and send them back.
You do realize when they say seized at the border, they stop stuff coming in, right? You realize when they tell you the number of people who've crossed, that means they've caught them and processed them, and they're either processing an asylum claim or deporting people right away. And of course, the direct flights have just started up again. But when they seize fentanyl at the border, that they don't go, oh, where's this supposed to go? Oh, Indiana? No problem. We'll take it from here. Yeah, absolutely. No. Rest your feet. You've walked all this way.
But they'll do nothing on our border. You know, we say all the time, I'm fighting for my country. I'm fighting for...
Yeah, but that's ridiculous because you're just sitting there talking. Say what you will, but I'm not fighting for anything here. I'm arguing my point. I'm being entertaining. I'm trying to cajole and convince. I'm trying to inform. But this isn't a fight. I've been in a fucking fight. I've been in lots of fights in my life, and that ain't this. Anybody who tells you this is a fight is a fucking moron.
Constitution. I'm not.
Well, that's true.
I'm not. I mean, today...
I've given up. I'm done. America, you're going to have to find another hero.
Is a great example. I'm fighting for my own soul.
And losing, it would seem. And not that hard. Kind of more like a poke fight than tickle fight.
And the soul of my children.
That's weird. Now, is that because the devil showed up while you were walking? You were at a crossroads with a fiddle or something, or
I am fighting
with your own brain, it seems,
against evil.
Okay, and you can do that sitting down. Fuck, you're more of a man than I am. God damn it, I have to put up whatever fight I'm putting up on my feet, and Jesus, you can fight evil in a puffy down vest and a button down in a studio in air conditioning? Huh. I guess it's nice. What do? Do you use like Postmates? Does Uber bring evil to you? And then you just have them like ring the bell and then you answer the door and evil! And then fucking the drama.
How can you keep a border open?
We don't.
When you know this is going on.
Well, the Title 42 is the cause for this entire sub-industry of trafficking people, because people would pay to get across the first time, and then they get caught and they get deported immediately, and they get no mark on their record, so they can try again, but they don't have money to pay the coyotes, so they have to either carry drugs or traffic themselves as an attempt to get across the border. The other thing, too, is talk about blaming the victim. What, the United States is responsible for all the awful people do to get here? What are we supposed to do? Be less of a country? I mean, I know that's what Trump was trying.
You know this is going on. We're killing our own people with fentanyl.
No, we're not doing it, but we're not doing it ourselves. They're ingesting these drugs themselves. Unless you know of something that I don't know. Are we putting it in the water in Texas, or we're not? No, we're not. We're not killing our own people with fentanyl and argue if we're killing our own people with fentanyl, then who can blame the cartels for dropping the shit off at the border? Thanks. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh, I'm going to go kill some of my own citizens with it. But thanks for bringing it all the way up here. I appreciate it.
People are coming over. Women are being raped day after day, multiple times a day, just to get here.
Right. Which I think would point to the value of the country. And what you're saying is, get raped all you want, but we don't consider you an asylum seeker, and so we're going to send you back to where you came from immediately. No processing, no support, no nothing, because maybe you're not a German Christian. And if you try again, you're just going to get raped multiple times all the way up here, and we're going to tell you the same fucking thing, because values. What the fuck is this dude talking about? What the Oh, as if this isn't the greatest pontificating, I must say. Oh, by the way, just
Bullshit!
This is all bullshit. I don't even think he believes it. I don't even know what he fucking... That's what that whole I'm fighting for my soul nonsense is about. Doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
We're turning a blind eye to our overlords on the border, the drug cartels. We are cutting our own fences while we cut our own throats.
I say I don't think we're cutting. We do replace some of the fences with wall or replace it with other barrier. That's how most of Trump's wall was built. Actually, was because that money was allocated for just that task during the Obama era. But that's it. He just bails out. We're cutting our own fences while we cut our own throats. I don't know what he's talking about. This is just bullshit. This is just, it's a masterclass in self-righteous fucking delusion. Glenn, you're a fucking mess, buddy. Whew. You're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show.